for today for our wall requirements. Have at least a patch of wall that you can put your feet on or some sturdy furniture that when you're lying down, you can press the soles of your feet into. So it
All
doesn't
right.
have to be like a whole tall wall that's as tall as
Okay.
you are, just a little bit down below. And if you have a little bit of space above it, I'd like to, not right away, but eventually, I'd like to do a hip stretch where we have one foot on the wall. So about that much height
Okay.
is what you'll need for
Okay.
something to, in that case, just rest your foot on. In the other case, pressing the feet into. So that's the only kind of prop using a wall or furniture as a prop that we'll need today. And yeah, that's it. If you've got blocks, great, have your blocks. And otherwise, let's start out on our backs today. Lie down, hug your knees, and speaking of that wall space, place your body so that it's pretty easy from where you're starting to stretch your legs out. You may need to wriggle closer to the wall, but that it's not a big production to get to your wall. So lie down, settle in. You might take a moment and hug your knees to your chest, rock a little side to side. And once you've rocked a little bit and let the head roll if that feels good, and place your feet down and listen to the feedback from your body. Does your body prefer right now to have the knees bent or to have the legs stretched out straight? And from whatever starting position feels comfortable, give yourself a moment to arrive, to settle in. And as you settle into your space, breathe. Tune in and notice whatever you notice going on in the body. From the crown of the head, down to the feet. What do you observe? Any areas of tension, any areas that are asking for encouragement, love, a little nudge, whatever it might be. And then as you move the awareness gradually down the body, anything else, any other messages. It's like we're asking our body, do you have any messages for me right now? It's like checking your phone. Do I have any messages from the inside today? When you're ready, now guide the awareness to the rhythm of the breath, the way the belly rises and falls. And tune into the natural rhythm of your breathing. Now bend the knees, place the feet flat, and use the awareness of your breath to initiate it's a small movement. I don't even know if you'll be able to see it if you're watching the screen, but from the inside, as you exhale, pull your belly button down to your spine so your low back flattens into your mat. And as you inhale, allow the natural curve in your low back to return. Let your belly rise. Exhale, pull the belly button down, flatten the low back. Notice your neck. Inhale, let the natural curve return to your back. Just like that, move with the breath. Exhaling, engaging, flattening the back. Inhaling, let the natural curve return. Now, as you're tucking and tilting, the whole body may be shifting a bit, but notice if the neck or jaw or shoulders are tightening up. If they are, ask them to not do that. It doesn't really help the rest of the movement. And now come back to center, to neutral, and we'll do, it looks like windshield wipers, but the intention is different because we're moving from the abdominal muscles and guiding this from the pelvis. So instead of letting the knees go as far as they want, your pelvis and your core stabilizing muscles are in charge. So slowly rock over to one side of the pelvis. Sometimes I refer to this on the pelvic clock as 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Slowly across the center over to your imaginary 3 o'clock, and then right across the center of the dial to your 9 o'clock. And as you're moving, engage the abdominal muscles. So there's a moment as you're crossing through center where you're pulling the belly button down like we did just a moment ago. Just like that, side to side. And if in any of these you kind of happen upon a real tender spot, see if you can keep moving but detour around it. Detour around it so that it's tolerated. Now come back to center and let's return to that idea of the pelvic clock dial. It's imprinted on the sacrum and pelvis. We'll go now around the entire circumference of your dial. Start at 12 o'clock, press your low back down into the mat, and then slowly, as if to pass through at an even pace, press the 1 and the 2 and the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, the 7, the 8, the 9, 10, 11, and 12 until you have rolled through every number all around your pelvic clock dial. All the way around. And feel free to spiral into different size clock faces. You can exaggerate, you can exaggerate it or make it smaller. Now reverse direction. Same thing here. Feel free to explore different sizes. Mobilizing, waking up some of these like intrinsic muscles in the torso with a variety of movements. When you come back to 12 o'clock, press your low back down, hold there, even squeeze your glutes, and then relax and release. Bring the knees to the chest, rock a little side to side. Take a hand on each knee and circle in opposite directions. Knees go out wide to the sides and then back. Out wide to the sides and then back again. Reverse direction. And touch back down. Now let's tune in and use the wall, add a little bit of strength. So get close enough to the wall so that you can let's straighten the left leg out. Close enough to the wall that when your left leg is completely straight and your heel is on the floor, you can press the wall with the whole sole of your foot. Breathe there. Now, y'all may have more open hip flexors than mine. This is probably the tightest area in my body. But so if you if you are my hip flexor people, if your hip flexors are tight, you may feel this in the front of the thigh or kind of deep in the pelvis on that side without adding anything to the movement. That's great. It's part of how they get longer. We're going to keep the leg active. Bring the other knee toward the chest. You can hold behind the thigh, around the shin, add a belt if the reach is a bit far. Any way you like. Left thigh bone down to the mat, sole of the foot firmly planted on your wall like you're standing on it, and the right knee coming into the chest. And as you're doing that, notice your neck and your shoulders. You might rock your head a little side to side. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. Stay right here. Take the right knee out to the right. And bring it back in. So keep the standing leg, the bottom leg, really steady so that it helps stabilize the rest of the body. And when the knee goes out, the bent knee goes out to the side and back, it doesn't take the rest of the body with it. The hand, if you've got your hand on there, but it doesn't take the pelvis or the other leg there. Nice. Touch the foot down. Bend both knees, change legs. Right leg stretches out long, stands on the wall, and the other knee comes into the chest. Clasp the leg somehow and breathe. Put some nice energy into the straight leg, the thigh bone getting closer and closer to the mat, the foot pressing evenly and almost as if, because we'll engage the quads here, almost as if the foot wants to slide up the wall. If it were slippery, your foot would be, your whole leg would be lifting, your straight leg would be lifting. It's not. But at a moment's notice, it could. Breathe here. Knee goes out to the side, breathing in, breathing out. And stay right there. Keep the bottom leg energized. Bring the knee in and take it out while the rest of the body stays steady. So something is anchored and stable, so something else is free to move. Bring the knee back in, touch both feet down. Draw the knees into the chest, rock a little here. Take your arms out to the sides, and zip up the belly, and keeping both shoulder blades on the mat, we'll bring the knees toward one elbow. Not that they'll touch, that's just the direction they're headed. Back to center and over to the other elbow. Like your knees want to get closer to the arm. If this movement is very comfortable and your legs are touching the floor, do not let them. Do not let the legs touch the floor on the side. This is for strength and mobility, but mostly strength. Right, getting the obliques involved as we go side to side. Good, good. And come on back to center. And touch the feet down. Heel toe your feet mat width apart. And windshield wiper your knees side to side. Let the thigh bones move around, rotating in the hip joint. Now the knees are free to go as far to each side as they would like. And taking the knees over to the right, you might reach your left arm overhead, get a little extra length on the left side. Take another breath here. And change sides. The knees go to the left, the right arm overhead if you like. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. And back to center now. Release, walk the feet in. And once again, we'll stand on the wall, this time with both feet. So reach down. And I like to start out just a touch closer than I want to wind up so that I feel like I can press the wall with a lot of enthusiasm. Right? If I'm barely touching the wall, there's not as much capacity to like close the chain and connect to the wall. And we want that. We want to have that strong connection. Feet parallel to each other, the width of it, whatever works for you. Stand tall into the wall, zip up your belly. Breathe while you're here. So there's a sense that the whole lower body is engaged. The outer hips are hugging in. Glutes even are active. Thigh muscles active. Feet pressing evenly. And then can you find that sense of if your feet were going to move, they would start to go up the wall. Again, they're not actually moving. There's just that energy, like they're ready to go. Keep your legs active, just like this. And consider raising your arms overhead. Inhale, reach up overhead, and exhale, lower the arms. Keep the legs active the same way. Inhale, arms overhead. And exhale, back down. Now we'll do 2 snow angel style. Arms out to the sides. Inhale, sweep out, overhead. Exhale, arms back down. One more time, snow angel style. Inhale. And exhale. Last time, raise the arms the way you want and leave them there, nice and long, plugged into the wall, zipped up belly. Reach the arms overhead, any amount. Feel the back of the head on your mat or if it's resting on a blanket. And know that the floor is giving us some nice feedback about what a straight line we have. Bring the arms down and bend the knees. Bring the knees into the chest again and rock a little side to side. Let's come over to one side. Pick a side, any side. Bend your knees and stack them. Stack the knees, stack the hips. So you're in a fetal position. And we'll use this starting position to do clamshells with the legs. Now remember, you can do this with dialing it lower or higher intensity by either adding extra core work or not. It is your choice, it is your body and your practice. So, option 1 is you lie down, your head can be supported by your arm or by a pillow, hips and knees are stacked, and you lift and lower the top knee. Exhale every time you lift, and don't lift more than 30 degrees. If you're lifting higher, nothing bad will happen, but you'll miss out on the strengthening part of the movement in favor of the mobility. So we're choosing the strengthener. If you want to add the core work, come on up onto your forearm. lift your whole bum. Lift your pelvis up. So now we're using the core to keep elevated here, right? There's all this airspace underneath. And then from this position, lift and lower. And there's a third variation. So option 1 is lie on your side. Option 2 is stay lifted while you do the knee lifts. Option 3 is lift and raise the leg, then lower the body, lower the leg. So it's everything lifting, everything lowering. It may be more challenging than the second one. It may be less challenging, kind of depends. So you choose what feels appropriate for you. Belly button pulling into the spine. And release. Come over to your other side. Set up. Stack the knees. And on this side, same thing. You choose the way that works for you. Pull the belly button into the spine the whole time, especially when you're lifting the knee. Couple more. Last one, come on down. Come on to your back for a moment and rock side to side. Now take the knees in circles, but together. They travel together this time. Rolling around on the pelvis. And go the other way. It's a little bit like our pelvic clock when we went around the dial. Rock over to pick a side, any side. And come to upright. And from here, take your feet out kind of wide. So feet are kind of wide, sit up tall. Now, if it feels like you're being pulled backward, not a problem. We're going to use the hands at first, hands behind us. I'll show from the front and then from the side if you want to see. Windshield wipers with the knees and the hands. Oh, there you go. You can see my arm back there. You can use your fingertips for support to add to the effort. Sit tall, have the arms out to the side. So there's a bit of balance and core stabilizing happening here. Good. That's it, nice. Come on back to center. Swing the legs around. And let's come to tabletop. Hands and knees. And as you arrive in your tabletop pose, go right to cat-cow. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, lift the heart. Find yourself a nice back bend. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, lift the heart. Just like that. Now circle the hips and the shoulders around. Change direction. Now have your self close enough to the wall that when you stretch your right leg back, you can stand on the wall, no higher than your hip. So anywhere from, the toes touching the floor to the same level as your hip. But don't go bananas. Don't go up here. This is not what we're working for. Stand on the wall and then pull the knee into the chest. Keep your torso as steady as you can. Push into the wall and then bring the knee into your chest. Just like that. Push into the wall. Bring the knee into your chest. Push into the wall and stay there this time. Extend the opposite arm. Reach out in front of you, nice and long. As if, with energy in the arm, as if you could push a wall on the other side. Breathe in, breathe out, release the arm, release the leg. Lean back, take a child's pose in between sides and reach your arms out in front of you. Nice long back here. Breathe as if each inhale could inflate your low back, like you've got balloons back there. Slowly ease up to hands and knees once again. Same thing on the other side. Check that your other foot is close enough to touch the wall. Great. And then zip up the belly, pull the knee in. Reach back, press the wall. Nice and active, straight leg if you can. Pull the knee in, or the straightest leg you can find there. Pull the knee in. The next time you reach the wall, stay there. Zip up the belly. Reach the opposite arm out in front. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Take another breath here. And release. Release the arm, release the leg. We'll take child's pose once again. Stretching the arms out. You might come to fingertips this time if you like. Now ease your way back to tabletop, our starting position. And we'll do a mobility kind of quick thread the needle shoulder addition. So, similar to some things many of you have done with me before, this is how we'll treat it. We're going to do, let's do 4 on each side. It'll look like this. I'll show first. We'll reach one arm out to the side like we're trying to twist up this way, and then we'll dive through and we'll twist and face that way. So the idea is rotate your spine as much as it allows to each side. And as we dive through, we're not coming all the way down and touching. We're just, well, you could touch lightly, but don't get comfortable because we won't stay there. All right? So let's take the right arm first. Take it out to the side. Open up, open up, open up. You're twisting, and then dive through. You might lightly touch down and then come right back up. Same side, open up in the open twist, and then dive through, crossing underneath. Open up, dive through. One more time, open up, dive through. Stay there, take a couple breaths. Now you can rest on the floor if you want. But again, don't get too comfortable because we're coming out to do the other side. Left arm out to the side, rotate the chest. Open, open, open this side, and then dive through to the other side. Open, open, open to the left, and then dive through to the right. Just like that. Inhale, open. Exhale, dive through. Inhale, open. This time we stay. Exhale, dive through. Set the arm down if you like. Set the head down if you like. Take a few breaths here. Unwind gently. And ease your way up to any seated position. If sitting on your feet is comfortable, great, that's an option. You do not have to do that. You can have your legs any way you like. I'm just going to show sitting on the heels for variety. Shoulders roll up, back, down, and around. That's it. And then elbows out to the sides. Give them a squeeze. Then give yourself a hug. Right arm on top in this hug. Round your back. And then lift your elbows up to the sky. Let it turn into a back bend. Reach up high. And release the arms. Poke the elbows out to the side again. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Give yourself a hug. Other arm on top. Hopefully your left. Actually, not hopefully your left. Hopefully whatever one hasn't done it yet. Round the spine. Pull the belly in. And then get nice and tall. Raise the elbows. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, release down. Come back to hands and knees. And let's take the right knee into the chest, and we'll make some hip circles. Knee comes in, circles out, and around. Pulse at the back, pulse at the back, pulse at the back, and pull the knee in. Circle around, bring it behind you, pulse to the ceiling. Pull it in one more time. Take it out to the side, around, pulse, pulse, pulse. Bring that leg down. Other leg. Pull the knee into the chest. Circle around. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Pull the knee in. Circle around. And pulse, pulse, pulse. Last time, pull the knee in, circle around, and pulse, pulse, pulse. Bring the knees back in. Walk your arms forward, kneeling puppy. So you're on the shins with the arms stretched out. Looks kind of like a kneeling down dog. That's why it's called kneeling puppy. Now, while you're in your kneeling puppy, see if you can find a little cat-cow movement in your spine. So as you inhale, let your chest melt. You might look forward a bit. And as you exhale, pull your belly button up and round your back. Inhale, let your heart melt. Look a little forward. Exhale, pull the belly button to the ceiling. Just like that. Inhale, let your heart melt. Exhale, pull the belly button up. 2 more times. Inhale, melting. Exhale, rounding. Last time. Inhale, melting. Now stay there, stay there, stay there, stay there in the melting. Stay there in the melting. And then in the rounded. Around the back, take a couple breaths here. Relax your neck, let the head hang. And then release that. Walk the hands in. Let's take ourselves so that we're close enough to the wall, once again, to use the wall for down dog. So in this case, a lot of times when we're doing down dog in the center of the room, with the legs, we're aiming to bring the heels down like as close to the floor as possible. For this variation using the wall, even if you can bring your heels all the way down, do not. It's part of the goodness here. You'll walk your feet so they're, I don't know, a couple inches away from the wall. And when you come up into down dog, your heels are on the wall, and there's a gap underneath your arches. So the balls of the feet are on the mat, a little in front of the wall. The heels are up on the wall. It's not as high as humanly possible. It's like, I don't know, you could drive a little toy truck under there, maybe a tiny car, not a truck, a matchbox truck. Breathe. It's maybe a 3-inch heel for me. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Now, since we've got this sense of having the wall, let's really use it. So you're pressing into your hands, you're lifting your hips up, and your legs are really active. Aim to like stand on the wall to activate the muscles in the legs. Really use the wall for some connection. Breathe while you're here. And then notice, is the left leg working more? Is the right leg working more? And even things out as much as you can. Inviting some of the muscles that might not usually get a chance to work here to help you. And then slowly shift forward. Come to the knees. Sit back, child's pose. Let's get off the hands and the arms for a moment. Relax. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. All right, we ease our way back up to hands and knees. Step your right foot forward. Take your left leg back and see if you can touch your heel. It doesn't have to be the whole sole of the foot because that can be kind of awkward to get out of. Touch the heel to the wall. This is if I'm thinking of it like a high heel, this is a higher heel than our down dog. In down dog, the foot was at more of an angle. The whole back foot is more vertical right now. Breathe while you're here. Press into the back leg, zip up the belly, hug the outer hips in. Stay low and breathe. And just notice the work of the back leg here. This is really nice to activate the back leg. Now keep the left hand on your mat. Use a block if you want a little extra height. Place your right hand on your right thigh. Turn your chest toward the right thigh. Open up, twisting here. Breathe. So heel to the wall, spine long, open chest. Unwind. Now from here, you can either, I'm going to scooch my right foot a little further out to the right. You can bring your back knee down very lightly. Bring your forearms down. The elbows may or may not touch. The forearms may or may not touch, but come down as low as your body says yes to. Inside the front foot. And breathe. There's a big hinge in the hip on this side. You can lean a little forward into it. You can tip the knee to the outside. What does that feel like? And when you're ready, come on back. From here, come back to your high lunge. Tuck the toes underneath. And then squiggle your right foot back. And there's a little adjusting required, but find your down dog with your heels at the wall. Right? You'll adjust the angle of the back foot, right? So the heels can press into the wall. The ball of the foot is on the mat. And we're not trying to smush the ball of the foot up close to the wall. We do not care how close the ball of the foot is to the wall. We care only that we can get a nice sense of rooting into the wall with the heels. And now from here, when you're ready, and shifting to the knees, step your left foot forward. Raise the back knee. Find your lunge on this side. Squiggle back so that the back heel is on the wall. Again, as we're in the lunge, the back foot is a bit more vertical than when we're in our down dog. Breathe, breathe while you're here. At first, we're in neutral, energizing the back leg, outer hips hug in, belly drawing in and up. And this is where sometimes we'll notice like it's easier with one leg than the other. Right hand goes down to the mat, left hand to the thigh, and rotate the chest. Raise the arm if you like. We're in a twist. Keep reaching into the back leg. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Unwind. Now, bring both hands inside the front foot. You might want to lower the back knee for this. This is more the stretchy part. Bend the elbows. If you want to place the forearms down on your mat or on a block, you can do that. Both hands are inside the front foot. And breathe. You might shift the hips a little forward and down. You might tip the front knee out to the side. Explore, moving gently, varying the position. And then when you are ready, come on back. Find your high lunge, lifting the back knee, and then walking the left foot back and down dog. Hello, down dog. Take a few breaths in your down dog. Strong with the arms, anchored with the feet, very active with the legs. Gently bring the knees down. Take a moment in child's pose. Let's take a side bend in this version. Walk the hands over to the right. Breathe. Side stretch in child's pose. Inhaling, exhaling. Change sides. Inhaling, exhaling. And walk back to center. From here, come to standing in a forward fold. Hang forward, hold the elbows. Let the head hang. If it feels better to rest the forearms on the thighs and be less upside down, that's good too. Adjust the shape of the pose, the details of the pose so it works for your body. Not necessarily trying to always make it easier, but adapting, just like you would custom tailor a jacket if you wanted it to fit you really well. Custom tailor the poses so they fit what your body needs. And sometimes it's more challenge, and sometimes it's rest. Sometimes it's, breathing in space for the breath. Release the arms. Press into your feet. Zip up your belly. Bend the knees on the way up. Slowly, slowly, slowly come to upright. Once you're all the way upright, hi there, welcome. We will take our down dog shape, turn it into puppy dog since we've got a wall. Hands on the wall, walk back, bend the knees, and make your spine as long as you can. So in this case, well, actually, let's stay here a moment. Then go ahead and lift the belly. Lift the belly. Think of cat-cow here. Round your back. The elbows can bend, that's fine. And then go the other way. For some of you bendy folks, this kind of hammock shape may feel good. And then lift up and pull the navel in and round the back. And just like that. So cat-cow spine in puppy dog. Exhale, lift the belly up. Let the head lower. Breathing, arching the back. Good. Now find a long neutral spine and we'll move a different way. Lean your hips over to one side. I'm using my feet like I'm slowly pedaling to shift the hips over to one side and then shift them over to the other side. You get this movement. Your dancing will be even better. Breathe here. Now, when you're ready, walk toward the wall. Take your time and come up to stand. Once you're standing, circle your hips generously around. Go the other way. And release. So, let's use the wall for a different pose. It's called Parshvottanasana if you like the Sanskrit name. Sometimes the English term is pyramid, although it doesn't translate from the Sanskrit. The right foot is forward, the left leg is back. Now here's the deal. We're going to start out kind of high up. If you've got a picture or something on your wall, then go around it, go wherever you need to. And then we're going to come down a little, aiming to have the torso parallel to the floor. So you might need to step back a little bit. Now, if the hamstrings are tight, your hamstrings may have something to say about this whole situation. So anchor into the ball of your front foot. The front foot is facing the wall. The back toes are turned out slightly. And there's a little space, right? Not like you're on a tightrope, like you're on a diving board with the front foot and the back foot. Now, hug your outer hips in. Zip up your belly. Press the wall and see how long your spine can be. Like if you were being tugged by your tailbone in the opposite direction, how long could your spine get right here? Good, good, good. Now slowly, gently bend the front knee, step up, come on up to standing, release your arms. Inhale, circle the arms. You can face the wall or not. Exhale, bring the arms back down. Let's go to the other side now. Left foot forward, right leg back, same thing. Do not make a tightrope. So classically, for a lot of these poses, you'll hear heel to heel and heel to arch alignment. We're not aiming for that. We're giving ourselves more room. Front foot facing the wall, back foot's turned out some. Hug the outer hips in. Lengthen the spine. The hands may start out a bit higher, adjust and see, oh, how's it feel in the legs? If your hamstrings are okay and the legs can stay straight and the spine can stay long and straight, as you come down closer to horizontal with your torso, then great. By all means, keep your straight legs. However, if locking out the legs or straightening the legs makes your back round, bend the knees. This is for your back. The knees know how to straighten and bend. Breathe. Outer hips hug in. Belly zips up. And long, long, long. Hands pressing the wall, but at the same time, the almost a sense that your tailbone's being tugged out the other way and you're getting longer, 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 longer. I know that's like a form of torture if you're on a rack being stretched, but right now it just sounds really lovely. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Traction for your back. Just the right amount for you. Slowly walk yourself in. Come on up. Breathe while you're here. Once you're upright, take the feet about shoulder width apart. You'll be more in the middle of the room for this. Bend the elbows and twist and twist and twist and twist. Good. Release that. Now we'll get the lower body involved, kind of a twisty thing here. Bring elbow to knee, other elbow to knee, elbow to knee, elbow to knee. When in doubt, lift the knee higher. So you're more upright. The last twisty thing was more for the upper body to twist. This is more for the lower body to get the lift and the twist. Good. That's it. Good job, guys. Good job, folks. All right, from here, let's combine some of what we were doing. Now for this, you might want a wall, this is not a wall, this is a block. You might want a wall or not a wall. Don't listen to me. You might want blocks, these things I'm holding in my hands. Or even the seat of a chair would work nicely. We're going to combine that last thing we did at the wall with a twist. So we want to give ourselves, remember, twists love space. The more room we can give our spine, the more space we can give our spine, the happier our twist is going to be. So I'm going to turn this way so you can see it from this angle. I'll show first before we all go into it. So if I've got my right foot forward, the block is going to be toward the left, and my legs are set up the same way as they were when we did that push the wall thing. So this is what I'd look like if I were pressing a wall. Instead of pressing the wall, I've got one hand on my hip and the other hand on my support. This is why we want it high, because if your hamstrings are pulling and your back is rounded, there's not a lot of space there. Remember, loop back to twist love space. So we want to give ourselves enough height that when we hug in and lengthen, our spine is really long and in neutral. And then from this position, now we've got room to twist. If we're all curled up like this and we try to twist, just the whole thing is distorted. Don't do that to yourself. All right? And then once we've twisted, you can add the arm if you want. When in doubt, add height under the hand and bend the front knee a little if needed. All right? Right leg forward, left leg back. And once you have that set up, the front foot faces forward, the back foot is slightly turned out, just as we did set up when we touched the wall earlier. Now, as you fold down, your left hand goes to your block or chair or support. Now root down into the feet, zip up the belly, hug the outer hips in, lengthen the spine, really wake up and enliven the pose from the inside out. Now, turn your chest to the right, to the right, to the right, to the right. If you want, raise the top arm. Hug the outer hips, lengthen the spine, firm the legs, and breathe, and breathe, and breathe, and breathe, and breathe. Unwind. Step the back foot forward. Fold forward, hang. Let your low back lengthen. Let your neck relax. Let the arms hang and zip up the belly slowly, ragdoll up. Ragdoll up. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart. And then before we go to the other side, we're going to do a little of that twistiness with the legs. Bring the knee across, bring the knee across, bring the knee across. Just a little twistiness for the back. And then plant your feet. We'll do the upper body. Just taking it in reverse this time. Swing and swing and swing and swing. All right, release. Move your support over to the other side. Left foot forward, right foot back. Front foot facing forward, back foot slightly turned out. As you fold forward, right hand finds the support. And when you do, sometimes when we feel the support, we're like, oh, thank God. Thank God I've got something to lean on. And we collapse into it. Do not do that. Root down into your feet, energize your legs. Hug the outer hips in, zip up the belly, and make your spine as long as possible. Then turn your chest to the left. Breathe here. Maybe you come up onto fingertips. See if that gives you a bit more room to breathe. Maybe you raise the top arm. I am not the boss of you. You are the boss of you. Anchor, hug, but most of all, breathe. Breathe and breathe and breathe. Unwind. Return to center. We are going to stay low and pivot so that you're standing with your feet wide and your torso comes down in between the legs. Standing forward bend with the wide legs. Knees are free to bend. Take care of yourself. Breathe here. Now walk the hands over to the right leg. Anywhere on the leg that works for you. Breathe. Now when I do this, I like to kind of pull the belly button in, like I'm doing the Halloween cat part of cat-cow. But you may like to let the torso hang. Do a little exploration here. See, oh, this feels interesting. When you're ready, go to the other side. Anchor, zip up, breathe. Unwind. And plant your feet, zip up your belly, bend your knees, slowly come up and stand. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart. Bring your feet back. Shake your legs out. Have a seat. So let's take a seated twist. And if it works for you to place a foot on the wall, you will. So I'm going to show this facing you so you know where we're headed. Right knee bends, left leg out in front. You'll sit tall. And then as per always, you can choose to twist toward the bent knee. That's kind of the more common direction. But if you want a little more room to breathe, you can twist the other way, as long as it's consistent when we go to the other side, right? So, if using the wall, it's the same shape. We're just giving ourselves a little something to press into. Ooh, I'm going to use maybe this. Can you guys see that better? Yeah. All right, so left foot into the wall, right knee is bent, sit tall. And it's not so much like push and shift the hips with it, but anchor your heel, feel the connection between the sole of the foot and that vertical surface, and then get as tall as you can. And decide which direction you're going to twist in. Get really tall on your inhale, and on your exhale, twist. Breathe while you're here. You can hug the shin, you can hook the arm outside the thigh if you want, outside the knee if you want. This is your pose. This is your twist. What takes care of your body today? Breathe, lengthen. Rooting down into your seat as much as connecting with the wall. Unwind gently and change legs. Other foot to the wall, bending the knee, lengthen. Same thing here. Establish your pose. Remember, twists love length, so give your spine as much length as possible. And when you're ready, twist. Rooting down, rising up, connecting with the earth, with the wall, with the sky above. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Take another breath here, in and out. Gently unwind. From here, lie down close enough to the wall that you can bend your knees and place your feet on it. So, as a general guideline, unless you know otherwise is true for you, about a 90-degree bend is where we'll start. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Remember, we're using the wall, so you do not have to reach through and hold the thigh. That's just to bring the legs closer. If you get in this position, notice, well, when you get in this position, it's not optional. When you get in this position, notice what you feel in the outer right hip. If you've got some stretch happening there, a medium level of stretch, great, like 5 on a scale of 1 to 10, or 3 is fine, no more than 5. If you're not really feeling any stretch, wriggle closer to the wall, recross the legs, test there. At some point, you'll get close enough to the wall that when you cross your legs, you will feel the hip stretch. And some people, it means bringing the butt to the wall and then coming down from there. So somewhere in that vicinity. And breathe. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe and breathe. We use these muscles a lot today in our standing poses, that hugging the outer hips in business. So we did a lot of nice stabilizing now. We get a little stretch in there. While you're here, you might roll the head side to side gently, letting go of tension in the neck. For the last couple breaths here, if you'd like to do a little experiment, imagine you're doing a bridge pose. Keep the foot planted on the wall and curl your tailbone up, your low back up, and then uncurl yourself back down. That feels arduous.
It's not mandatory, but it might feel nice on your back. I don't know. You're inside your body. I am not. How does it feel for you? Maybe one more. If you're doing the lifting, slowly lowering. And change sides. Unwind, recross, and see what it's like on this side. There may be some adjusting called for. So notice what you feel in terms of the hip stretch. Remember, closer to the wall, more intense, farther from the wall, less intense for the hips. Breathe here. Deep breath in and out. Breathe in and out. And now, if you would like to, do the bridge lifts, the bridge hip lifts, curling up, any amount, curling down. And feel for the way you roll up and down along the spine. Maybe one last lift if you are lifting. And when you're back down, unwind, stretch the legs out for a moment. Bend the knees. Bring the soles of the feet together and the knees out to the side. Baddha Konasana, using the wall for your feet. Edges of the feet there. Now for this, if you want, you can use your hands to lovingly encourage the thighs a little closer to the wall. Don't get crazy. Listen to your body. And then bring the knees back in, rock a little. Now, if you've got a lot of wall space and you can stretch your legs up the wall, go ahead and do that. You might take legs up the wall for Shavasana, or you may choose to lie down flat, adding other props. So gather what you want to have on hand for your Shavasana, for your final resting pose, and set that up. If you're choosing legs up the wall, remember, only go as close to the wall as your hamstrings allow. Sometimes I see folks really scooch into the wall like, I'm going to do this pose the right way. And really, the right way is what suits your body, not like what somebody else is doing. That may help them, but it won't help you. So if your bum is on the wall, your hamstrings shouldn't be screaming and your butt should not be in the air. So if either of those things are happening, move your bum away from the wall until your hamstrings are like, oh, well, this is okay. And your bum is resting on the floor. And then once you've got yourself organized, take a breath in and squeeze every single muscle. Breathe out and let it go. Do that again. And let it go. Let the body rest. a moment in gratitude for all that it's done for you, even just during our time together. Let the breath flow in, let the breath flow out. Begin to deepen the breath. Move the fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. Stretch the arms overhead, get nice and long. Let the knees fold into the chest and rock. When you're ready, make your way over to one side and pause. Use your hands to press up to seated. And as you slowly come to upright, find your vertical. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, lower the chin. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe and at ease. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Have a great day.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you.
Oh, I see your kitty, Connie.
Yeah, the kitty's beautiful.
Oh,
Here during
Yeah.
class, she was attacking my hair.
Yeah, I saw her in your lap. She was so
She got on
cute.
my lap at one point.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
oh, that's so
Such
sweet.
a joy. They bring us a lot of joy.
You
They
sure do.
do.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, look how pretty she is. Yeah, very nice.
Oh,
Look.
she is. She's very
She,
beautiful.
she's stealing the show.
Yes, she
Yeah.
is.
I
Um,
love meeting everyone's animals, and sometimes I'll get like a kid or a grandkid and
Yeah, that's
yeah, that's nice. Very nice.
oh, have a great rest of your day.
You
thank you.
too.
You and all of your
You too.
beloved animals.
Well, you too.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Take care.
Take care.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.